What's up guys? In today's video I wanted to talk about stage readiness. Now, over this past weekend, I had a couple competitors compete at the OCB No Gear Classic, and one thing that I saw that was absolutely unreal was that the judge actually stopped the show in the pro bodybuilding class to let the guys take a drink of water, to get their tans fixed because they were running and because they were very tired. And personally, I've never seen anything like that happen at a show before, and it actually happened twice during one of the classes that Jeff Cook was in. Jeff, on the other hand, was very prepared. He had been practicing his posing for a long time and practicing his wind for a long time. And by wind, I mean just the ability to be able to hold your poses. And although that may have flied this past weekend, although the judge may have been a little bit nicer than some other judges out there, in a normal show, and especially at a World Championship show like the Yorton Cup, for example, or IPE Worlds, they are not going to stop the show for you to catch your breath. They're not going to stop the show to let you fix your tan. And the guys literally came from off stage like with rollers and like fixed these guys' tans real quick, like patted them down with towels, gave them a drink of water, and because they were struggling so much, the judge actually had to stop the show. And this was my perspective. I wasn't there in person, but I was watching it live online, and that's how it seemed to me, that these guys just couldn't hold their poses. They were sweating profusely. Their tans were running off. And yeah, I mean, I definitely sweat when I'm on stage as well. But if you practice your posing, if you practice your wind for a long time, it becomes second nature. And you could tell that Jeff was definitely one of the more experienced competitors up there. You could tell that he knew what he was doing. Because he pretty much was holding his poses throughout the entirety of the time they were on stage. He didn't need to take a break. His tan was fine. He wasn't sweating profusely where it was just pouring off of him. And that's one of the things that I think a lot of people don't control, is when they practice their bodybuilding poses. They hit a quick pose, they see the angle that they like, and then they're done with it. In reality, you need to be able to hold those poses for an extended period of time. And if I had to put a time on it, maybe the pro bodybuilding class was on for about 10 minutes. That's usually what we're about on stage for. I think when I was at IPE Worlds and the Yorton, I was on stage for about 10 minutes as well, respectively, in each of those classes. But, one of the things that you have to do is be able to hold your legs for 10 minutes. And I'm not saying just necessarily legs from the front, because obviously, you turn to the side, you get to relax a little bit. But when you can't hold your legs, or you're sweating profusely because it's so taxing for you, that's a sign to me personally that you didn't practice your wind. And especially at the pro level, you need to be able to do this, because a lot of these guys do have great physiques. I mean, we're all, pros are pros for a reason. But if you can't hold your poses, if you can't hold your legs, if you're shaking up there, if you're sweating profusely and your tan's running because it's just so hard for you to be able to hold your poses, then that's going to really negatively affect, your positioning and the way that you're judged. I'm not saying that, this show was judged unfairly, because by judging it online, I wasn't there in person, but I think they got it right. But could someone's place have improved if their posing was better, or if they weren't extremely winded? Because when I see that personally, I'm not a judge, I'm just a general spectator in the audience. When I see somebody shaking up there that can't hold their legs, that just means that they, one, either didn't put the time in, or two, they're just a novice, and they just didn't know what to expect. So in my opinion, that's also unacceptable at the pro level. And I was a little bit guilty of it last year. I got a little bit excited when I was at the Yorton. I got moved to the middle, and I started shaking a little bit, mainly because it was out of excitement and not because I was taxed. I practiced my posing a lot last year, and I have a couple guys who are competing this fall, and ladies for that matter, who are already practicing their posing and already practicing their quote-unquote wind because they want to be able to hold all their poses for the extended time that they're on stage. So if you're out there and if you're really looking to make a big difference in your physique, I mean, yeah, we definitely have to, hit our diet and hit our cardio and hit our weights. But the biggest factor, in my opinion, when being judged is the capability of holding your poses for an extended period of time. Those guys that can actually hold their poses, and the ladies, and hit their legs the entire time are going to be the ones that are going to be judged more favorably. Because if you have great legs, but if you can't hold your legs, if you can only hit them for a half a second and then they're gone, the judges aren't going to judge you on the ability to hold your legs for half a second, because they're going to see your soft legs compared to your hard legs, when you hold them for a half a second and then they disappear. They're not going to be able to get a good look at your entire physique if you can't hold a particular body part for an extended period of time. So that's my advice for everybody, is to get ready for the stage, you have to practice your wind. So as always, guys, keep dominating every aspect. I'll see you soon.